What is going on, guys? My name is Ty, and I have Kyle here as always, and we are the Weekend Warrior Disc Golf Podcast. What is it? Is up? We are finally back for the disc golf season of 2025. Very excited. Finished my first tournament. We'll go through that later on. We have the pros starting this weekend, which is very excited. We're going to be going through that and also a rundown of our new point settings for that. We're doing a little bit of last year. We're also going to be doing a little bit more this year. So definitely I'm excited to show you guys what our new format looks for that. And then also, uh, yeah, but I think that's pretty much it. We're going to be just going through this coming up week, and then I'll basically a nice breakdown of what has happened last weekend with my tournament, which I have a lot to talk about. I know it's my first one back, but definitely want to do a nice little breakdown, have Kyle ask me a couple questions. And it was definitely a nice, beautiful roller coaster ride. If you add glass shards in
Wow.
the air.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Yeah,
That
no, it's
shall
just
be interesting.
it was pretty interesting to say the least. But we'll go more into it. But I don't want to ruin it. But before we start for anything, obviously we have a beautiful sponsor read by not only Gravity Disc Golf. So Gravity Disc Golf exists to exceed your out of this world expectation with unparalleled custom designs, disc, and apparel. Gravity is creating an atmosphere where disc golfers can enjoy every aspect of disc golf while blasting off with space themed design. No matter what you throw, Gravity has designs on almost every manufacturer and can make your game look great. They offer free shipping on orders over $75, and John includes a nice note to each customer. Make sure to check them out at gravitysgolf.com to complete your bag. But let me tell you, Kyle, they are out of this world. Definitely use code KG10 or Ty DG10 to get 10% off your next order. Definitely go check them out. Beautiful Alden Harris signature disc, whatever you kind of want. Like I said, they have most manufacturers, but definitely you want to check and see what they all have. I do know, I think they're going to be dropping more apparel soon, but other than that, I'm very excited to represent them for the second year and Kyle for the same. And I got to definitely rep them last weekend, and I kept getting amazing compliments from the jerseys we have.
Hmm.
People absolutely love them. So, but before we get into anything fun and crazy on this trip, Kyle, how you doing?
I'm good. The week it's getting, I'm getting that itch finally to play. It
Yeah.
is getting nice up here. We're gonna have a couple days in the 30s come this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, but it's been hitting 50 degrees and stuff.
Mm,
So I'm definitely getting that itch again for some disc golf. I'm debating. I got to talk to the wife to see if I'm doing anything March 9th for that flex tournament. I know Maverick and
yep.
Josh has already signed up for it. They have a 145 tee off.
Nice.
So depending if I'm doing anything or if I'm busy that weekend, it's only 22 bucks. I'm thinking that might be my first tournament of the year. So we'll see if I decide to join up in that or not. I will keep us posted though, because obviously it's the following weekend already. That would that it's already coming up.
Yeah.
But I do need to figure out my bag because I have no idea what I'm going to throw yet. I do know I'm going to put with the Luna. Other than that, I have my Raptors, my zones, the cicadas, the buzzes, the heats for rowers. But I got to figure out the other disc I have on what I want to throw in there. Thrasher,
Yep.
Hades. Uh, do I want to throw the Zeus in there? There's a couple in there that I gotta figure out and decide. An
Mhm.
Avenger on what I do want to officially have in the bag.
Absolutely.
So I'm
I
excited though. I'm ready.
I mean, we'll go more in depth on that later, obviously. 'Cause like I said,
Obviously, I didn't even know what my bag's gonna be yet, so I can't
for
even.
yeah, I definitely am talking about even the what I
Oh, what
experienced this
you
weekend.
bag too? Yeah.
Like, I could say that my bag is pretty much set.
Mm.
I've fallen in love with pretty much everything that I have, and then the disc that I traded with you, they literally fell perfectly in the slots that I was missing.
Hmm.
Like the DD3 was exactly what I was hoping for, and it fits perfectly in my slot. The fireball was a definitely an overstable mid that I needed um when I needed it the most when because my hex is, even though I have two hex, so actually I have three hex, but all my hexes are still really just straight shots. I mean, I could
Hmm.
definitely throw a nice hyzer line on them, but they definitely do throw straighter, obviously, because that's what they're mainly do. But the fireball definitely was a great addition to my mid ranges, and also now I just got a zone, which I'm excited to see what I could throw with that as well. And then trying to think of all the other ones. A stink like a sneaky addition was definitely that instinct that you would made me do the 5 disc challenge with.
Right. Hmm.
The instinct definitely is in my bag. Um, that I used it actually pretty much a lot, especially with my mantra for this weekend as well, which obviously we'll go more into it in depth, obviously.
Of
But
course.
yeah, everything's good. The only thing that I'm still kind of having some troubles in is my putting, and I think it's just mainly just the mental side.
Yeah.
I think I'm
And
just
you
doubting
haven't
myself.
played in a while either, so.
Yeah, and I think what's really holding me back because it's a super mundane, but I think I need to just work on some putting because when I'm by myself, I feel confident. When I'm with others, it just goes out the window. It
Hmm.
just goes out the door, and I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm overthinking it. Just way overthinking it. And obviously, like I said, we'll go more into it, but um, I'm still just like, obviously, I putted with the rainmakers. Like I said, there was some shots I did use my Luna because I just felt comfortable, and obviously it slam dunked right in, because I'm gonna be always comfortable with my Luna,
Hmm.
but definitely rainmakers are like, I would say 60-70-ish% there
Okay.
to be officially my putters. So my putting putters. So, but yeah, we'll go more in depth to it. But yeah, let's kind of go on for this weekend. Obviously not really much news besides just kind of catching up with everything that's going on. Um, I do know that Chandler Fry announced that he's retiring.
I did see that.
He's just done, which I totally
Another
get.
one's done.
Yeah, and
But
not
I do, he wasn't the only one. Wasn't there somebody else too? Or maybe Fry was. I feel like there was
that's
one more, but
that's the
it
most
might have been
recent one
Fry.
that I
Yeah.
know. I don't know any other ones, but I do know that was the most recent that he which ironically it's funny. I think I got him confused with Chandler
Kram
Kramer.
Kramer.
Yeah, I think I got them two mixed up because I was like, oh dang. And then I realized I was like, oh wait, no, this is Chandler Fry, not Chandler Kramer. I was like, okay. Which I mean it doesn't I mean it still means a lot that a professional is deciding like I'm parting ways. It was more, I think he said the bounce back of his recovery because he apparently had an injury,
Hmm.
and then he did say that he got an opportunity and he's going for that and realizing that it's just not going to work this season, which
Right.
I totally get. I mean, obviously this is not the podcast for it to talk about the pros on like their tour life stuff, but if you even go to like the new one that's recently out called Crush Peppers with
I still haven't listened.
Simon, Eagle, and Joey. They highly talk about, obviously their experience. They're, like I said, what I really like is what they're bringing onto the table is they're really heavily focusing on more the mental side of it.
Hmm.
And obviously anything else they want to talk about, they talk about whatever they want personally, but obviously Eagle and Joey are very precise on making sure they go through the mental side of it all, and they definitely talk about that whole ordeal, and which helps me out because that's kind of where my fault is right now for the game. And so I'm realizing that. But they also talk about, obviously the difficulties and tribulations that they actually deal with touring themselves. So yeah, it's just uh and also Paul Macbeth and not Paul Macbeth, Paul Yulee and Brody has talked about it, how much they spent. A couple of people opened up saying how much they've spent for traveling. So I totally get that. It's
Well,
difficult.
especially like you're still paying for your entry fees and everything else.
Yeah.
When like
Well,
I'm curious on if there's a way eventually where a lot of those like if you're a pro, you have an official pro card, you just play. You
yeah.
spend for your travels or whatever extra,
Yeah.
but you just play. You know what I mean? Like your
Yeah.
entry should be covered. I think it would save so much for them.
Well, I think
But the problem,
your tour card
but
should be covered because that's what's happening
the
is
the
you have to
problem
pay.
though is you're paying the tour card, but the problem is though right now the pot that they're relying on for the
Yeah.
winners is obviously part of the entry fees. So
Correct.
it's
Yeah.
hard not to.
Because it's hard to fork up. Like I'm even sitting there thinking, I'm just like, I don't know the total amount. I think they said it was like 23 or 24. It was like around the 23 or $2,500 for their tour card.
Hmm.
It's like crazy. Like, I mean, for them, like a lot of them are like, yeah, I just work it up and it is what it is. And like, that's totally fine. I mean, like also, I know I get it. People are selling disc and like, they're getting residuals off of that. And like, I totally, totally understand that. But, and a lot of them are, not batting an eye, or maybe they have it like in their agreement or contract that their sponsorship is taking cover of it. I don't, like I said, we don't have fully written, like it's not fully public of what the pros are getting, but it'd be definitely be interesting to see. Like, I would love to just see even like an old contract of like Macbeth or something to see like just a comparison of what the pros are actually getting compared to whatever it is. I would love to just experience that, just to see like what they are getting. So, but yeah, other than that, we do have, like I said, the first weekend coming in, which sadly we're not able to make it, but it's totally fine. But this weekend is the um DGPT Discraft Supreme Flight Open presented by Florida's Adventure Coast this weekend, which is in Brooksville, Florida. Obviously, Rodney's normally doing this, but she is finishing up photography with stuff and edits and all that. So you will be seeing her next week. But um, we do have her picks and stuff like that. But like I said, though, we are going to be changing things up. So I'm going to go through the normal stuff, and then Kyle is going to bring in something that is a little bit newer, and he's going to kind of go through the layout format of that because that's Kyle's little, I guess, new child. So we'll definitely let him be Dr. Frankenstein on that and
Hmm.
let us know what he's got. But what we're doing is we're still picking three NPO, three FPO, same order, same everything, same points from last time. The only thing that we're doing differently is we're going to do what's called a wild card. And for that wild card, it doesn't matter. Um, I think we're going to stick it mainly for FP, or we're probably going to stick it mainly for NPO. I think that's going to
Hmm.
be a little bit easier because there's more to choose from. I think it's going to be fair. So we have to pick out of, besides our normal top three NPOs, we're picking a wild card. And that wild card, what that is just another person that we think that they're going to have a really good weekend. And our wild card that we choose is going against the other wild card player that they picked. And then whoever wins or finishes the highest position than the other wild cards, they will get an extra point.
Okay.
So, for example, let's just say mine comes in sixth, yours comes in seventh, Sarah's comes in eighth. I will get one extra point.
Okay. Perfect.
So it's just one extra point.
Hmm.
So it doesn't matter where they go.
They could finish 20th, 36th, and 50th, and whoever's
Yes,
the highest, you get the
just
extra point.
whoever the person that we pick, whoever just finishes the highest out of those three, um, we you just get one extra point on top of our normal points that we do.
Okay.
Obviously, for just refresher for everybody, if you get the person right in the proper position that you say, so for example, if I say that Ricky is going to win this weekend and he wins this weekend, you get 2 points.
Hmm.
If the person does not finish in the position that you say, but they at least finish in top three, you get one. Same as last year, obviously. But yeah, just the extra point I feel like would be nice because there are some times that, for example, there was a lot of weekends I didn't get a single point, but I still have that
Right.
wild card just in case, and I could get at
Hmm.
least a point. And I think that's going to help with the tiebreakers because we had a lot of tiebreakers last year. So I think
Yes.
that would be a helpful thing for this year. And then
Hmm.
I'm gonna pass the mic to you because you came up with something, which
Thank
was
you, Birdie Smith.
yes, but you did come up with this a couple pods ago,
Hmm.
and so now we're making it happen. So I'm gonna pass it over to Kyle. He's gonna go through that, and then we still have to pick whatever you're about to say, and then after that we'll go through the entirety of what we all picked. So whenever,
So, Brody talked about how disc golf, he came full circle about the fact that disc golf should actually, because it's always been so much like team this, team that, team that, but it's not really a team game. It's more so it's a singles competition, just like normal golf.
yeah, 100%.
He's finally full circle though about let's make it a team thing. Let's have your captains. Let's pick your groupings of like say 5 players that you want that week to headline your team,
Yeah,
and then you get points based off of where they finished. And then by the end of the year, whoever wins the manufacturer cup, you get like that team gets like a $5 million bonus. You know what I mean? Something like that. Something just to give another incentive, another way for players to get paid and everything else. So I was like, yeah, we should just do that for our picks. I do know that Grip Block keeps track of their own points, but they don't actually do it themselves either. So I figured let us make a game out of it.
yeah,
So
which
I'm
I'm
gonna
excited about.
represent a team. Tyler's gonna represent a team,
Hmm.
and Ronnie's gonna represent a team. But our rules, instead of 5 players and stuff like that, because some teams are loaded compared to others, we're gonna
Yeah,
do 2 NBO players for that week from that team and 1 FPO player from that team.
yeah,
And the points will be based off of where they finish. You can get a point all the way up to 40th place. The higher you finish, the more points you get. Like first place, you get 40 points. So basically, it just like goes the opposite way.
yep. Sounds good.
So, and then by the end of the year, whichever team wins, representing them, that's uh that's where we're gonna go at. Uh Rodney, we did let Rodney choose first.
She did, and she picked Team Discmania.
Yep, Team Discmania. We figured to let Rodney pick first
Yeah,
since she's not quite sure of all the teams. I mean, she's learning a lot. Through last year, she's learned a ton. She's
yeah.
learned a lot about a lot of team players and everything else. So she's
every
in the loop, but not as in the loop as Ty and I are, obviously.
well, the thing is, every weekend we do sit down and watch the
Hmm.
entirety of the PDGA live coverage. So she consumed, like especially last year, she consumes a lot of disc golf, and then she'll hear me talk about like different news and like different things and movements and all that. So she's definitely keeping up with it. I don't think she's going out of her way and like
Exactly.
watching YouTube videos like how
Hmm.
we are, but she definitely enjoys watching the live um, coverage each weekend. So she definitely watches that, and obviously she loves caddying for me.
Hmm.
Um, Ironically, she didn't caddy me this weekend, but
Surrounding.
that's a story. That's a
Hmm.
story. It's a story that we will talk about. There's a reason, obviously, which will explain why I did so terribly. But then also yeah, no, she just absolutely loves watching it. So we decided to let her pick, and she
Hmm.
picked Team Discmania.
Hmm.
And obviously, you probably will know why, because he kind of dominated last season. So she
Hmm.
thinks that he's going to do it again. And that was because of Cannonbird mainly. But
Yeah, yeah. And that's where originally Eagle came from. It's originally where Simon came from and everything
yeah,
else. So she's got a,
absolutely.
yeah.
Which I think she really enjoys Discmania because 85% of my bag is actually Discmania.
Yeah,
Let's
right,
just
right,
be
right.
honest here. I'm rocking DD3. I'm like
Hmm. The
it's literally
Rainmakers
Discmania.
now.
Yeah.
The
It's
what's your favorite one? The
so yeah, I have DD3, I have an Enigma, I have an
Enigmas,
Instinct,
Enigmas. Yep.
I have an Instinct.
Insanity.
I have an yeah, like I have an Insanity in there. I have my
Hmm.
Rainmakers in there. The only thing I don't have is I used to carry an Origin for my mid range, but I've just fallen in love with the Hex, and so I think MVP took my slots for mid ranges. I really love their mid ranges. So really, it's just probably if I had to go by percentage, it's probably 70%. Yeah, it's probably 70% Discmania, about 15% MVP, and then like small percentages of like DGA. Well, one disc, which is the mantra,
Hmm.
the disc craft. I have obviously Luna, and then my Raptor, and then well now one zone, and yeah,
You need to fall in love with the zones. But that's just me. All
this
right.
is it. So
But
yeah, we'll get into it.
overall, though, you and I, we have yet to select our
So
teams.
real fast before we do that, how is the point structure going with this? Like from what to what, from what to what, from what to what?
Basically from first to 35th, it just drops points.
Okay, yeah.
The
So like
biggest drop is first place gets 40 points, second gets 35, and then it ticks down 1 point off.
so it just ticks like that.
Yep,
Okay, so
yep.
it goes from
All the way to position 35. And then 36 through 40 gets a single point. Anything past 40, 0 points.
so basically you want to make at least top 40 to get a point
A
of some
point.
sort.
Yes, correct.
And then so okay, and then after that it you said first place gets 40 and then
Yep.
second is
It's
35.
35. Yeah. So there
So
is a
it
five
cuts
point
off the
difference.
5 point difference.
Yep.
And
And
then
then
after
it
that, it
just,
goes single tick.
yep. All the
Okay,
way up
that's not too
to
bad. Okay, cool.
35. And then 36 through 40 is the single point.
All right, cool. No, okay, that's awesome. All right, so yeah, so how are we picking ours? Because obviously we want to
Well,
keep it fair.
I have this.
So
You probably can't see it in the podcast for listeners. I know you can't see it fully on the live stream right now. If anybody is wondering,
yeah, even for
Kairu
me, it's a
80,
little
yeah, Kairu
overexposed.
86. That is my stream on Twitch during our recordings. I'm also streaming it live on Twitch.
Oh, which
But
by the way, guys, we are hybrid. So we decided this season we're going hybrid. So
mhm,
like I want to mention that. So This is post produced, so this is going to be posted on our YouTube for the people that like the post produced. But at the same time, though, if you are listening on YouTube and you want to do listen in to our live stream, we are going to be live on Twitch under Kyle's page because
Yeah.
he likes to do that. Normally time we do it Tuesdays, but I'm thinking we might switch over to Wednesdays due to the fact that it's a little bit more of the happy medium
Mm-hmm.
with the pro tour happening. It
Mm-hmm.
gives at least a day break, or when they do a 4 day, technically Thursday's the normal first day.
Yep.
I think
I
Wednesdays might
kind of
be
like the
real.
Wednesdays.
I think Wednesday is going to be really good and
Mm-hmm.
healthy for live streaming. So I was going to let you guys know that maybe like during the off season we might move to Tuesdays, but right now we're going to stay. We're going to tell accountability right now. We are going to be going live Wednesdays at 8 o'clock,
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
8 o'clock Central Time.
Yes, yes.
So
Um, and then as I said, so you're red, I'm blue. So you can I don't know if you could tell the
yeah,
difference.
it looks like a Pokemon ball. That's all.
It does. It is
Yeah,
technically kind of. Yes. So
that's
I'm the
all I
blue
see.
side, you're the red side. I'm
Okay,
gonna click spin. Whoever it lands on will get that pick.
cool.
Oh, it's me.
Is it
The arrow's right there.
sweet? Yeah, I can't even read that.
Kyle. K
Sounds good.
Kyle. Ka.
All righty. So we already know what he's picking.
So I really got to think about this. There's some really good options out there.
You're not going to think about anything. Just pick it.
Do I want to go with MVP or do I want to go? Oh, no, I'm going Discraft. 100% Discraft. Let's go. Representing Team Discraft. It is myself. It is Team Discraft. Lunas, Raptors, Zones, Ricky, Paul, AB, Ezra, Missy, Hanley. Let's do it. Let's take us down. We're taking down Team Discmania this season. Just throwing it out there.
Oh man. Yeah. All right. Well, um, I feel like I should be able to pick two at this point.
But
Because
there's some options though, because
no,
realistically,
I know
when
there
we're
is.
thinking about it, when you
Yeah.
really think about it, when you get three players, two MPO, one FPO, there's
Mm,
actually some good choices out there.
yeah, no, there is. I'm just joking. Um, there's three that I've been towing back and forth, and that is Innova, MVP, and Latitude 64. The only problem that I have is
Mm-hmm.
Latitude 64 really only has two solid players from one NPO and one FPO. And the thing
Mm-hmm.
is like one FPO, like, yes, Tatar would be great. And like, obviously, she's going to be consistent. But realistically, there is way too much heavy hitters in NPO. I got to focus on NPO rather than FPO. So then realistically, Latitude 64 gets dropped out because Isaac Robinson, he is great and he might do great this whole season.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, he likes to play better towards the end of the season. Especially obviously he's back to back worlds, you know. So it's just definitely that was the hardest part. I know Calvin is coming out of a elbow injury, so that's what's kind of holding me back for Enova because I'm not really sure. So I'm gonna be honest. This year for 2025, I'll be repping Team MVP.
Nice. I like it. No, I like it. Team MVP. I like that choice though.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking about it, and I
Mm-hmm.
think MVP might have a good consistency because I really do think um Eagle could come out swinging this season. He's saying he's feeling really good, and so hopefully that's the truth. And
Which is actually a little tease for our picks.
also Simon Lizotte could pop off whenever he wants to. Also, I'm kind of going off the factor of I feel like after the a couple of interviews that I've heard about Jeremy Colling, he's been talking about that
I
he's falling back in love with disc
hmm
golf.
I think he's
Obviously,
regenerized. That he's had
yeah,
like watching the videos and stuff like that. He seems ready.
yeah, and especially him doing the down under um out in New Zealand and him actually winning one.
Hmm
Um I feel like there's a nice little fuel to his fire. So I'm that's why I was just like I think right now um MVP is I can't pass that up. Like there's no way. So I'm going to be going for them this year. So yeah.
Awesome.
So what do we want to do here? Do we want to we'll start off with Sarah. I'm just gonna kind of go down the list. So first we're gonna go through the FPO and MVO picks for the top threes. We're gonna do FPO for her. First place she has Owen Scoggins. Second place she has Missy Gannon. And third place she has Holland Hanley. NPO she has Gannon Burr for first, Calvin Heiberg for second, and Eagle McMahon for third. And then her wild card, she's gonna go out with a banger for some reason. The wild card, she actually picked Ricky Wasaki.
I love it. I
So
love
that's
it.
super excited. New bag. He is coming off
I thought about
of a
putting
A
him in
tier.
mine, but yep.
He once again he's another one too. He seems really happy about it. He
hmm
seems excited about being on Discraft, which I would never like. It fits him, but I would never think of him being under the same house as Macbeth. That's just wild. Obviously,
It's awesome.
I know Kyle and I are newer to the disc golf world, and I really wish I got to experience the rivalry of Ricky versus Macbeth. That would have
hmm
been really cool to experience that back in 2015, 2016, in that the era of them. But
Era, era.
yeah, no, I think it's gonna, once again, it's a whole fire situation. I think he's ready to roll. He's feeling healthy and he's ready to go. Um, and then for Team Discraft, her two NPOs are
Discmania.
oh, did I say Discraft?
Yep.
My bad. Well, I was just talking about Discraft.
Yep, I know.
Her Team Discmania roster that she picked for this weekend is Gannon Burr and Kyle Klein for NPO. And then for her FPO, she picked Ella Hansen. Nice.
Solid line up there.
Do you want me to go first?
It's up to you.
I'll go.
All right.
I'm ready. Okay. So for my picks, obviously I went team MVP. Obviously, I have my FPO, Silva Solarin, coming in first place,
I like it.
following Evelina. She did technically win the first 1-2 at the beginning of the season. I feel like she might be sitting there in the top three again. So I have her for second place, and then I have Holland Hanley for third. For NPO, I have Gannon Burr at first place. I have Ricky Wasaki coming in at second, and then I have third. I have Ezra Robinson, and then like I said, he's coming in hot. I feel like he's going to do great this season.
hmm
I have my wild card pick, Jeremy Colling, as my wild card, and obviously I just picked MVP. So my two NPO is obviously going to be not only Simon Lazat and Eagle McMahon, and my FPO is going to be Silva Sarnen.
Love it. All right. So with that, my FPO, I'm going back to back. We're going Evelina,
Woo!
taking it
Which
down.
once again, you and I very close
hmm
picks.
Holland Hanley taking it down to number two.
Yep, my third.
And I couldn't leave Silva out. I love Silva being there. I'm hoping she just pops off at the start of the year instead of just, wait until the Europe tour and then blew up. Hopefully her putt, because she is a really good putter.
Yeah,
Hopefully everything just connects for her at the start of the season. She starts out strong because I do really enjoy watching her play.
Yeah. What
So
is going
Silva,
on with Estonia? Like,
I don't know.
what what are they
I
feeding
don't
these
know.
people? Like,
I don't
I'm
know.
just curious because like even MVP, they just talked about they just picked up like three or four Estonian players.
hmm
And it's just like what are they feeding over there? Like, is it
hmm
all because of Tatar? Like there's randomly just
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good thing though. I love
no,
it.
I love it. It's just I don't know how long until
hmm
the Europe is going to actually take that President Cup. Like it's just
I know it's
it's
getting
bound to
closer.
happen.
hmm So here is where I was debating on putting
Hmm.
Ricky in there, and I really wanted to,
Hmm.
and then I decided not to. I ended up going Anthony Bro, taking it down
Back to back.
because of the fast start last season.
Yep.
I think he can have a fast start again this year.
Okay.
You hinted towards it
I did.
earlier. We were talking about it. I have Eagle finishing second. I just
Hmm.
think after a year under his belt with MVP,
Hmm.
trying to get into the groove of things again, I think this year we might see more so the old Eagle back.
Okay.
And
Oh, okay.
imagine the old Eagle being back with AB, Ricky, Gannon, and
Y-
stuff like that. There's going to be some fire events this year.
Yeah. I
And then I
don't.
have Calvin
Yeah.
at third.
Yep. It's hard because like obviously this year I'm representing team MVP, which ironically
Mhm.
I came in really just I just kind of knew that I was gonna have team MVP. I just had something was telling me that I was gonna just take it, which is fine.
If you got the first pick and you ended up taking Discraft for me, I would have taken MVP. I that
I don't think, to be honest, I don't think I would have taken Discraft if I came in first.
I don't throw MVP, but this is what I'm talking about. Ego.
Rebirth. Yeah.
Ego.
I so what I'm trying to say is I didn't want to sell myself out short because like obviously it's difficult because like obviously in my top three I didn't pick Simon Lizotte or Eagle,
hmm
but at the same time though I picked him on my team because I have a feeling that
But this is where
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say is like
this is where that
the
whole team aspect is a whole different game.
exactly that's why I'm like I'm kind of banking on playing both cards of like
hmm
obviously I have Silva on there. The reason why I'm picking Silva is because Tatar is not present until
Right, right.
Paige Pierce proves me wrong. Until now, Kona Montgomery back on Innova, she
hmm
might start popping off again because now she's back in her place. Until Katrina Allen comes fully back after her um maternity leave, and any other people, any other American players will actually step up. I'm gonna have to pick probably like a European player, which is going to be Sybil Saarinen, Evelina, if she's actually hitting her putts this season, and Tatar. Like I just don't think right now
hmm
that the United States women really has the same level as the European women.
Right, right. And speaking of wild card, my wild card is McBeast. Going with McBeast.
Yeah,
I feel like having the year he did last year, he wants something to prove that he could still be be a guy that can compete.
yeah, I
I feel
agree.
like he can easily finish in the top five. And then team wise, again, this craft. Here's where I did pick Ricky though. I picked Ricky, Anthony Bro. Obviously, I have him winning. I have to pick him in my top in one out of my two MPO players.
Mm,
And I have Holland Hanley representing the FPO for me. I was kind of split between her and Gannon and who I wanted. Holland has usually has a really good start of the seasons. So I'm gonna represent Hanley for the FPO, and that is my team Discraft for this coming weekend.
nice, nice. That
Super
is
stoked.
very exciting. But yeah, we're very excited about, like I said, Pro Tour is finally back. Excited to watch it this season. Got nothing going on this weekend, so you betcha I'm going to be watching.
And don't forget, anybody that wants to get any kind of disc golf in, tomorrow's the All-Star event.
Right.
And
Yes,
then, yep, yep. So
that
they
does
do have an
happen.
All-Star event, and then it goes to the,
Are they actually doing live coverage on that?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta figure that out. Um, so but yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited, like I said, disc golf is officially back. It's time to get back up and running. And just it's time to roll. Time to roll, time to get stuff going. Like I said, I am planning on traveling quite often. It seems like officially Kyle and I has fully said that I will be going up to Illinois twice this season to play a tournament. So obviously the Walnut Open, but there's another tournament that's happening literally the weekend before our family vacation. So
Hmm.
I asked Sarah, "Hey, is it cool if we get there a little bit early?" And she's just like, "Whatever, fine." And I was like, "We see your family more." So we are going up. So that's how we could literally just play a B tier. And
Heck yeah. Right in
I'm
Sterling.
excited.
So it's pretty much in our
Yes.
backyard anyway. So,
Yes. But I'm excited though. I haven't played that tournament in a while. I'm excited to play that course because that course is fun. It's very
hmm.
challenging. And
And
I'm
I
curious of how I
know,
would play now with
oh, 100%.
it's been 3 years for me.
And think of like by then your bag, how much you'll get down with your bag and
Oh
get
yeah.
that filled out and rolling by then.
Well, yeah, but
So
because by
for
then I'm gonna be doing
you
my series, so I'm gonna
and
be playing a lot of disc golf.
for by then, I mean, that is already three tournaments for you
Yeah.
in your calendar. That's two for sure for myself. March, as I said, I'm gonna try to play that flex event, which already has 70 something people signed up for it. So I'm gonna try to do the flex.
Hmm.
So that'll be my first tournament, which means that's already three events for me. And then I just gotta fill in a couple more here and there when I can, and
Mm.
we got we're rolling.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be doing more tournaments, and then the guy once again contacted me, and it seems like he really I just kind of fell into the position like kind of how you did. Uh, it seems like they really want me to start running potentially the Freeport leagues.
Oh, okay.
So I might actually step into that role, which I wasn't planning on to, but he's really like wanting me to kind of really help him with that.
Hmm.
And I'm like, dude, you guys live not even, he like lives like you 3 minutes from the park,
I live
from
a
the
minute, not
Freeport
even.
thing. I'm like, dude, like I'm 45 minutes away. Like I can't just simply like right there.
Hmm.
So I would love to, but it's just not one of those things. So I got to figure that out, the logistics, but it definitely seems like I'll be doing more league play, which could be great for me because
Hmm.
I could actually start being playing more. And I think that's what I need to do. And I found somebody that's more local. Local, I meaning like they live like a town down, but somebody from my card. I actually, him and I exchange contacts. So actually, I think I have a person that I could play with where I could like call up and be like, hey, do you want to play a round? And which is cool because his and my gameplay is pretty similar, if not pretty identical. So it's nice to be able to work with him. So, but yeah,
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. As I said, we're gonna have already tournaments lined up, which is a good thing. But you've already done a tournament.
yes, let's get right into it.
I don't know how long we'll focus on it, but you did already play a tournament. You said it didn't go too well.
Okay, so it went great, and then it went terribly when, and here's the reason why. So this is for everybody. Do not do what I just did, and that is I had the tournament on top of an event I had to go out and shoot that same night.
Mm.
And normally this tournament finishes around 2 o'clock. The pace of play was so bad. It had almost 5 card pile up on one hole. And because of a car going that slow.
Hmm.
And it got to the point that the tournament director was like on them the whole time. You find out that, which is fine, but it was the FA1s, which there was only 4 of them, and they're all on the
Hmm.
same card. And like rightfully so, I totally get it, but they had a dispute on a position of a disc,
Mm.
and but they weren't resolving the solution in the matter of time, which blocked, like it literally took them 10 minutes, even with the tournament director, to like go through it, and
Hmm.
which it backed up everybody.
Oh
And
no.
we were like 5 cards, and the pace was just awful. And like we tried, obviously, but it just wasn't working. And then the second round, it happened again. And we're coming up to like the last like 6 holes, and it's 3:30. I have an hour and 15-minute drive home to like change, and then another 30 minutes to try to drive to get to this location for this event that's happening at 5:30. And so the second round, you will see, and I'll show you, I my mental game is not there because I'm focusing on the clock the whole time.
Oh,
I'm not,
100%.
like, honestly, I should have just left. It
Yeah,
wasn't
no.
fair for me to finish,
Hmm.
and I was still late. Like, it was, luckily it was an event where I wasn't really needed until like a certain time. I
Hmm.
wasn't needed until 6. I
Okay.
walked in the building at 6. So, and that was me like coming home. Sarah's already changed and fixed and ready to go, which that would have been a nightmare if she was with me. And that's the reason why she didn't come with me, is because she's just like, I would love to come with you, but we have this event tonight. And I was like, I know, like, I totally understand that. I go, I'm just gonna go and just play and have fun. I go, normally we're done at 2 o'clock. I'll be able to finish and just go home. That was what I was hoping. We didn't finish. I didn't cash in my last putt until 4 o'clock. And then I was immediately, I just like, I went and I just dipped because like there was no way of like waiting or anything. It
Hmm.
didn't matter anyways because I didn't place well. So I just left, and I was like, we gotta go. So first off, tip number one for this season, and a mistake, and a very much of an amateur mistake: do not schedule a tournament or sign up for a tournament if you have something going on important that that same evening. Make sure you have nothing going on, because that was awful, and it destroyed my mental game because I played so well the first round. I was so happy, and this was my first round ever not looking at the score. Obviously, you have to punch in your score, and mentally I could kind of guess. But the only problem was is that first round I was like birdieing and then bogey, birdieing, bogey, birdieing, bogey. So I was like, I don't know where I'm at. I'm just like, I kept going back and forth. And I was just like, I don't know where I'm at this. So yeah, I would love to break down for you. If you want to go through the PDGA, I could tell you what score or what hole I started, and we could kind of do like how we did last time. And like I kind of go through like what was happening there. Um, I did lose 2 discs
Oh
um
no.
at the very beginning, but I got
Hmm.
both of them back, so it's
Oh,
okay.
that's very cool.
But the very first hole, Because when we showed up, it was super windy
Mm-hmm.
and it was very cold, which
Mm-hmm.
explains why I started off with a bogey. But it went straight into the water, but it was my mantra. And then that same round, I lost my fireball, but I got both of them back, so it
But
doesn't matter.
yeah.
But I didn't have my fireball or my um mantra for the remainder of the time, which it didn't matter. It That didn't bother me because I had another mantra, and then I just focused on with my hex, and I was okay. Fireball was great, and I loved it. I definitely used it for my practice rounds, so I know it's great. But it just it just picked up weird. I like I said, this tournament was very much of there was a lot of unnecessary out of bounds. I don't know why tournaments do that, but they just do. They just put random out of bounds. We had a couple um, island holes, which it's fine, but we had a lot of those. And then also we had a lot of like technical, very touchy shots that for some reason I was just overthrowing. So,
Mm-hmm.
which is good to know that my arm is good. I do have to say we'll get into it, but the whole 10, that's the 615 feet. They
Mm-hmm.
actually had markers for like flags that showed you 300, 350, 400, 450. I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And mine actually land my disc, my DD3 landed right in front of the 350.
No, sick.
So yes, I was excited about that. Um, no wind.
Mm-hmm.
I caught it right when there was no wind. So I was happy about that. Obviously, the second round it was like sitting right at 300. I think I just hit that power pocket. But I definitely it felt great. So but yeah, I'll obviously go through it. But round one, I started at hole 16.
Okay, so I was gonna say, so whole just to kind of quickly go because we don't have to go too in
Yeah,
depth here,
100%.
but 2 through 15 was really solid. A lot of pars. You had 3 birdies, a lot of pars. You did bogey twice, hole 9
Yeah,
and hole 14A.
yeah.
But overall, great, great holes there. But your start definitely is a slow start. So 16, 17, bogey.
So 16 um was a great shot.
Mm-hmm.
I was not even like 18 feet away from the basket, but the only problem was the basket sat uphill.
Oh,
I
okay.
I
Is it a
threw
row?
I threw it confidently. The
Mm-hmm.
wind grabbed it and went over,
Oh,
which
okay.
went round 20, what was like a 20 footer for my third shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then so my third shot was 20 feet out. Wind died down enough in my 30 seconds. I hit ban, and luckily it didn't not roll down the hill again. It just stuck,
Perfect. Okay.
and then it went in for four. So that's what
Okay.
happened on hole 16.
And then hole 17 is 192, so it doesn't seem too far, but you said there's a lot of OB being played here.
So
This feels like an OB hole.
this one was an OB hole.
Okay.
But the only problem was this is the one that had the water. So basically,
Gotcha.
they put the um basket right at the edge of a death putt of the hill, and this is a steep hill that goes straight to the pond.
Uh-huh.
And I took my mantra and I did just a nice little just like an upshot, and I accidentally overthrew it and it went right into the middle of the pond,
Mm-hmm.
which they played where I got a I forgot how many meters it was, but it equals to 6 feet off the pond, because there was a lot of like thorn bushes. So
Gotcha.
I forgot what it's called, like hazard, whatever.
Hazard. Yep.
Yeah.
You get
So
hazard.
Yeah, so I got 6 feet up off the out of bounds, which is fine. Hit hit ban again,
Hmm.
so overshooting it for some reason, and then I went in for four.
Okay. But then you turned around at 17D, and you
That
birdied
was that was a park job with the fireball. It was a nice it was a nice little overstable shot. There was a Mando you had to
like a
hit.
bootleg left.
Yeah. And you had to go through a double Mando, and it was a nice little hyzer shot. It went literally right under the basket. I hit the bottom basket.
Oh, nice, perfect. But
Um
then you come back with a bogey at a 188.
yes, so that is also was another island
Hmm.
hole.
Okay, Island.
So it went because it was thick rushes. If you went in, it was out of bounds. You had to go to drop zone. Once again, I hit baskets, landed under the baskets, and I went in for four.
Okay. 18, par, like I said, 18 was good. And
That
then
is, yep.
number one, hole number one,
Mhm.
400 feet, a double bogey.
Yes. So first shot, beautiful. Landed exactly where I normally land. I threw my DD3. I was probably about 315 for the first shot, right in beautiful fairway. This is the one that the whole one left side has a pond,
Hmm.
and then the basket's kind of sitting more tucked in the back. There's this huge tree that's in front of me. And you have two different ways of going, like a super hyzer, or you could do a forehand flick. And so I decided I'm gonna grab the fireball and I'll do my normal spike hyzer, where I wanted to go over the brush. And for some reason, the wind read felt left to right.
Hmm.
I mistaken it. It was actually coming right to left.
Gotcha.
And once I released, obviously
It
the
just,
wind coming from right to left, it's under my disc. It takes it, flutters right into the pond. Obviously went out of bounds. That's when I lost the fireball. Um, my third shot from that was good. It was about 15-ish feet away from the basket, and I just I blew up. I my shot with my disc, it went over the basket for the fourth. Um, I tried to go again and went over the basket for five, and then I sat there and just took a deep breath, changed my changed my disc to the Luna, and I cashed it in for six. So I just had that random back and forth where it just went over the
hmm.
basket. And that's the hard part is because with my rainmakers, I have to release for some reason a little bit higher than my Luna, and I'm still just not fully used to it yet. And I've been hitting more banners than anything right now, and so that's what happened.
Okay. And then, as I said, 2 through 15 overall, well done. Four, you got a
Um,
birdie.
hole six was I flashed chains for a ace.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I
Hole
do want to
four,
mention that. Uh,
361 birdie.
hole four was that was actually an eagle run. So I shot it. I was only about 45 feet away from the basket.
So you went for it.
So yeah, and I just went
Hmm.
for it because it did have a little bit of OB on the right, but obviously throwing that far out, I always land left for some reason. It just
Right.
just how my throws are. Um, so I I just went for it. I hit the basket, almost got it in for eagle, and it's just simple, tap in for birdie.
All right. And then hole 10, you've already mentioned about how beautiful of a drive you had. So you mentioned that already. Hole
But that
nine, though,
one,
you go
that one
ahead.
always plays as a five.
Okay.
I've always every single time I play that hole, I've always gotten four, with an exception. of the last round, second round, I did get a five, and that was obviously we could talk more about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I missed my putt that round. But also at that time I that's when I started to rush. But we'll get into
Yeah.
that later on. But yeah,
Really quick, hole nine. That was your other different colored um happening here. 211, par
um,
three, you got a bogey.
what happened? Oh, hole nine. So massive hill. So this was upsetting. So I got a perfect shot. This is huge hill. Obviously, you know how my height is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's sitting on the the hills like here. The basket's sitting like this. So it's
Mm-hmm.
that weird angle. So I'm trying to like kneel down.
I gotta learn to knee that,
Yeah.
get on a
So
knee and
I
putt.
I'm I'm kneeing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I go and I think I add a little bit much I think I add a little too much spin on it, but shot I shot it literally. You see my disc sadly just cut through the chains. Like it hits chains, but it just did the typical, it cut through them and it rolled all the way down the hill. Didn't go out of
Okay.
bounds, but it did roll all the way down the hill. That was for my second shot. And my third shot, obviously went for it. It hit the basket. Luckily, it stayed under the basket and it went in for four.
Okay.
So it was actually a birdie, and then it turned into a bogey, just like that.
Speaking of which, you finished at the plus three in round one. Round two, you finished at a plus five, finished with a plus eight overall.
Mhm.
So holes, we'll just quickly do this. Holes 1 through 12, really clean, very clean. Hole six, you got a birdie. That's the one you almost aced the first time, right?
Yeah, which I do want to explain as well. I started I started on hole 16 again.
All right. Actually, yeah, 14C all the way to hole five are pars.
Yeah.
Hole six, again, you got a birdie, which is great, right?
Yeah, that
That's the
is
one you almost aced before.
and I almost aced this one again. This one
Okay.
I hit basket again with it. Both times I used a hex.
uh,
I think my actual first ace is probably going to be with an hex with
Hex.
an hex. Yeah.
All right. Hole number seven,
Seven,
193. You got a
huge hill again. What
bogey.
happened was I'm right under the hill
Mm-hmm.
and I just punked out. I was like, obviously you see how clean my card is. I
Oh,
was
you're
at
super
this
clean.
time I was par bogey or birdie. So I was
Mm-hmm.
currently right now I'm sitting under one for this round alone. I'm like,
Yep.
"Oh, I'm good."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "You know what? I'm not going to run this. I'm just going to just lay it up under the basket and call it done." Sure enough, I just kind of lob it. It goes right under the basket. For some reason, my disc pops up and rolls all the
Mm,
way down the hill, past me, all the way behind me, and now I'm sitting with a like a 25 footer, and
yep.
I
Yep.
I go for it. I hit chains. It hits the inside of the basket,
And then
bounces
goes
out,
out. Mm-hmm.
and luckily though, it stays under the
Stayed.
basket. And which I was like, okay, good. And then I'll just take my bogey and call it done.
Mm-hmm.
So sadly, it was a just I was trying to go for a par. Just for some reason, my disc was not. It just was
Right.
not playing. I should have didn't punk out. I should have just gone for it, but I just wasn't feeling confident with my putt at the time.
Hole eight, clean.
Yes,
Hole number nine, 211.
this is
You
another almost ace run, but this was with my
birdie.
instinct. It hit
Okay.
it literally it was a nice hyzer with my instinct. I hit it was almost like a hyzer jump, like a bounce in.
Mm-hmm.
It hit the ground. It went right to the band, hit the band. I'm getting so close to aces now. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to get my first ace soon. It's
And which is great to know because once you get them, you'll start getting them. That's what happened with me.
I do want to say though, after this birdie, this is when, because that hole 10
Time.
pace of play is terrible. I
Mm-hmm.
get to the card, or I get to that hole. Like I said, it is almost 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I need to leave no later than technically 3:30 or 4
And you still have
to
9 holes to play.
even remotely make it in time.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, mentally, I am not doing well. I start getting really worried because of time, because I have to make it to my event. This is the moment right here. It's right
Mm-hmm.
here. It's at right at 3 o'clock, and I'm like, we gotta
What
do
is going on?
we gotta do effing 9 holes in one
Mm-hmm.
hour, and that's
Yeah.
we're not in that pace.
Yeah.
And let me also say, I know we're doing 23 holes, but our first round took 4.5 hours.
Should take 3
Yes, our first round took 4.5 hours.
because it
We
takes
did
about
not
an hour and a half to 2 hours when you play by yourself or with a friend or a group of friends. Could
we
take
did
like an
not
hour and a half.
start
And tournaments usually take a little longer, so usually it takes about 3 hours average for a round.
we did not start second round until 1:30.
Okay.
It was
And you,
insane.
what time did it end?
We finished our we weren't even we were fortunate enough. We finished right at 4 o'clock. I think I cashed in. It was like
Okay.
4. It was like 4:01, but there was still probably like 10 cards still going. Like
Right, right.
there was not even done. I guarantee you they didn't finish until like 5 o'clock,
Yeah, that's
five
crazy.
15.
So time started hitting, but you did finish par, par, par. And this is you could tell your nerves probably started getting to you.
Oh, I
Uh
was at so
because
uh
you're already thinking bad, but when you hit 13, 14, 14A, 14B, it just went downhill. So you're
so
sitting at a -1 right now again. And
yes.
then so hole 13 is 404. You
Yep,
finished with the double.
I went out of bounds.
Hmm.
From out of bounds, I did an overshot,
Hmm.
or I did a backhand, but I started out with a backhand. It started originally in out of bounds and never went back in.
Hmm.
So that's once again another out of bounds. Did not move placement. Shot again, but this time with a hyzer. Um, Landed under the basket and went in for 6. That's what
Okay.
happened. So I went out of
14
bounds twice.
at 180 feet only. Guessing no out of bounds
Um,
things going
this
on there.
one was the island hole.
Okay, island. That makes sense.
It out of bounds,
Hmm.
missed my shot, and then um like I hit ban, and then I yeah went in for 4. But this time I'm gonna be honest, like I said, these 4 I was not paying attention. I literally was just throwing the disc. I was just
Hmm.
not caring at this point.
14A, obviously the same double.
What happened on 14A? I'm trying to think.
And 14B is only 155 feet. I'm guessing it's another island situation.
Oh,
Got a 4.
14A was another that situation where it just kept going over the basket.
Okay.
So I was like not even 20 feet out. It just went over the basket for 2, over the basket for 3, over the basket for 4, and then I went in for 5. But like I said though, I was rushing.
Hmm.
I finished this round, I finished hole 15. So I was letting you know.
Yeah, yeah, no, I know. And then 14B, 155 feet only. You got another bogey.
Mm-hmm.
Again, as you said, you're in rush mode. But then 14C, you finish with the 4, and 15, you finished with the par as well.
I do want to mention 14C was actually a birdie run that I just missed.
Mm.
And then 15 was actually another ace bid.
Okay, just missed it and went a
Um,
little far, and
I
then you.
just, I just, it's funny. So obviously I'm on last on this card right now,
Hmm.
and the guy finishes. I just grab a disc out of my bag. Don't even line up. Don't even do anything. I just literally, I just chuck the disc, and it goes, and you just see everyone go, uh, and then it blasts chains, and they're like, "Are you kidding me? You didn't even try." And I was like, "Yeah." I'm just I'm not mad or nothing. I was like, yeah, like I'm
Well,
just
it's frustration because you're
yeah.
like
No,
time
I
wise,
let
time
me
mixturing. Yeah.
let me say from hole 10 to 14 or to 15, even though I was stressing on the time, I wasn't showing it to my card
Hmm.
mates. I wasn't a bad card player. I was not being a dick to anybody. I was just bottling it inside of like I'm literally this entire time, this is what I'm doing. Okay, it's 415. Or I'm sorry,
Hmm.
it's 315, it's 316, it's 317. Oh, you want me to throw? Okay. Okay, now it's 317, now it's 318. Oh, you want me to throw? Like that's how it was. And then like at the last hole, I was just like, I said my, good game, guys, good games. I go, hey, I don't want to be all whatever, but I once we're done, I need to pack them and go. I gotta go into an event, so I just want to let you guys know. Like, I really appreciate playing with you guys, but I have to leave. And they're like, "Oh, okay, it's not an issue." And I was like, "No, I just wanted you guys to know. Like, I would love to sit and talk with you guys, but I just have to go. We have to just do our cards quickly, and I need to leave."
Yeah.
And so I definitely was just like, sadly, I had to go. So yeah, never again will I ever book a tournament while I have an event that evening. I thought I was going to be able to do it. And obviously, you cannot because you cannot control pace of play. So,
You cannot control pace and play. Brody Smith argues about pace of play all the time. And when you get to an amateur event, as he said, he's never doing it again because it was the slowest thing. He complains about the pros' pace of play.
look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Look at all those
No
people.
freaking way.
Look, one card,
Anybody that
two,
is listening just to the
three,
audio,
4, 5.
six,
There's five
seven.
cards.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, anybody listening to the audio version of it, he just showed a snap of the pace of play. Obviously, I didn't see the snap. I don't have Snapchat, so
Yeah.
I missed that. But yeah, that's rough. But overall, though, I would say though that there was in that second round there was that if there was not the issue of pace of play, solid playing though, and then you could tell where
Mhm.
your inner clock was like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
this is getting rough. I need to get to this event, which I get. You're a freelancer. For anybody that doesn't
Yeah.
know, so it's very important. You need to get to where you need to get to.
Yeah. And luckily enough, the person that I um I did book. She was okay. She was kind of getting a little nervous because I actually showed up late. I was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to get there at 5. I didn't show up until 6,
Mm-hmm.
but the actual event didn't start until 6. She just gave me a grace period because she wanted just to make sure that we were prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, hey, so this is what I did with them. I know you guys, doesn't matter for you guys, but for me, it does for my clients. So I told her, I was just like, hey, I'm running late. I, did this tournament, was not expecting to take long. It did take long, however. So with that, I know you said that we are supposed to be done at 8 o'clock, but I will stay until the actual event is over, free of cost. You don't have to worry about it. We will make sure to get all the content that you want to get, and we'll stay as long as we need. And
Mm-hmm.
and she really appreciated that. So I did that. So like it does not so I always try to find ways where without the like, here's a refund. I, I always try to at least give them something
Mm-hmm.
before we go. Like that's like the last case scenario is refunds, and which
Of course.
I've never had to give a refund. So knock on wood. So like I've always found a way to at least accommodate any way possible. And she just thoroughly enjoyed that we actually stayed the whole time and got more content. So that worked out. And also the next day she contacted me and booked me for another event. So
Oh, perfect.
like that's what I'm saying. So it's like at the end of the
And
day, it
maybe
all worked out.
it all worked out. Maybe she'll be a consistent client that,
So yeah. So I mean like, but I will never book an event on top of a tournament day. That is never going to happen again. But I do want to say, even though my placement of where I was, which by the way, massive sandbaggers in my division. It's
hmm
not even a joke. They actually complained about that and they talked about it. Um, we were having a lot of issues with that. I know a lot of people say like sandbaggers don't really exist, obviously, but um, they're I that's a whole nother story that we could talk about. But yeah, we were dealing with a lot of people that were not supposed to be in this division. Um, which I don't know why they were able to. I'm still trying to figure that out.
their PGG, their ratings were fine.
Their ratings were fine.
Yeah, their ratings are still fine.
Interesting.
Ratings wise, first place was 840 something, and you can do it up to 850.
Got it. Even though he shot a 917.
Mm-hmm. He's not going to be able to anymore.
No, I know. That makes sense. So,
And because if their ratings were not, because now it's set up for like MA4, MA to MA3. If your rating is 850, they automatically bump you up. You don't get a choice. They automatically bump you up to the next division now.
oh, so you could sign up for it, but they'll bump you up
Yeah,
to.
they'll bump you up. As soon as your rating hits that next step, they will bump you up.
Okay, cool. So they have changed that. Okay, then I'll take back what I said and I'm not complaining about that. And
But
it just people were just
yeah, yeah.
playing out of their minds. That's all I
Mhm.
can say. That just everyone was playing crazy and I don't know what they were doing and
I
obviously they
mean, your division, the person finished with the. I mean, how far is it that you played from Tallahassee?
what was that?
Like the guy that won, he's from Tallahassee. How far is it from that course?
Mm, maybe like 45 minutes.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if they're like hometown people.
No. Um
Put it like this, though, if for anybody wondering,
oh no,
uh,
he no, so Wright Dobbs, he travels to that course
okay. So
almost every
for
weekend.
MPO finished with the -5.
Youngstown, Florida is definitely in the Panama area.
hmm
So Bobby Jones. Um Southport is another near Panama City. Lewis is a another Panama City. Um, we have a Virginia, which I don't know if he just moved in. We got Panama City,
MA1
Crestview.
guy finished with a -22, but the guy that won your division finished at a -14 when it came tied in second in MA1. He would have been second in MA2.
Well, MA1 they had their MA1 had their uh
Different T-pads.
yeah. They're
Okay, okay.
further out. Like for example, like their whole 10 is 1071
Okay.
and ours was 615.
Yeah. MA3, he would have finished tied for fifth.
Yeah, that's more liking of like what we what we do. Which like actually ironically in first place, the Isaac guy is like a U. He literally lives across the street from the course.
Mm.
He last year he won MA4. This year he won MA3. So obviously he just keeps moving up more and more and more.
Yeah. Well, Dobbs is. 831.
He was on my card last year. I remember him.
Bobby Jones is 800. 789 is the guy that finished minus 10. 846 is the guy that tied for third. So that guy is going to end up moving up.
Yeah.
But some of these though, like this, you got to look to at how many tournaments they've ever played too,
Oh
because that
yeah,
always,
absolutely.
yeah, because they may have never been ranked. They might have just started playing last year, played like two tournaments or a tournament, and not really get a rating, or to get
Mhm.
a super low rating, and they're a lot better than what they actually are, and then just instantly move up this year.
Yeah.
But overall, not too bad.
No, not bad at all. But yeah, definitely. Like I said, I'm very excited about it. I was very happy with my first round. I'm still going to say that over and over again, even though I started off poorly. Like it just nerves, obviously. But I was very happy with the first round. Second round, I was extremely happy up until I started mentally checking the clock. Once I started
Hmm.
mentally checking the clock, everything just went out the window. So, but yeah, that was my first round, man. Like I said, I'm very excited. I know what needs to be done. I would like to have seen what would happen if I didn't have to worry about going to the event.
Hmm.
I'm really curious on if I would actually. I think I would have done better, honestly. I know I would have
Right.
because I would have slowed. I would have not gone as fast because the first round I was going nice and slow, feeling good, finished, ate my sandwich, feeling good, changed my jersey. I was feeling good. And then like I said, the reason why is like I said, round 2, I went what was it? I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 holes, hard or a birdie. 11 holes in a row. I was perfectly fine. And then
Exactly.
and then I got into my internal clock and I was like, "Oh crap."
Hmm.
So, but yeah, that is my experience with it. Also, the players pack was insane. They gave us so much stuff, dude, real fast. They gave us, obviously, but I just want to tell everybody, they gave us a Discraft decal sticker, some clippers, like fingernail clippers. That was really cool.
A sick.
A what you gonna call it? Chick-fil-A free sandwich, like gift card thing. Two, two disc. Well, one disc is the kind of like gummy zone, which is definitely going in my bag. Really cool design there. And then they obviously gave us another zone, um, which obviously will just probably go on my wall, but it's just a nice, cool style there. And they gave us a jersey, which I don't have right now. It's in the room, but it is a custom jersey that has my last name and my PTG number on it, which I
Which
thought
is
was
really
really
cool.
cool.
That's
Um,
the cool thing to hang up too.
yeah, absolutely. I'm probably hanging up. I'm not sure yet. I might have if Sarah wants to wear it for obviously caddying because it has my
Oh,
last
that'd be
name
cool.
and my
Yeah.
number.
Hmm.
It also kind of has that more like green caddy look to it.
Hmm.
So I might just have her just use it for that. But if she doesn't want to wear her Eagle jersey that I got. But um, other than that, yeah, it was really fun. It was great. It was nice and cool compared to last season or last
Hmm.
year's. Last year I was dying, so this year I wasn't. So yeah, but we're back into it. I know exactly what I need to do and fix, and I'm definitely ready for the next one. So
But other than that, I think that's about it. Other than the fact that I just need to say that I'm gonna take it down huge this weekend. Team Discgrass gonna take it all. We're gonna clean sweep it. And yeah, I'm just gonna get a massive head start, and y'all don't stand a chance this season.
probably not, but it's okay. No, but
Even
seriously,
on the normal picks. So,
No, I'm excited. I'm excited for the season. Obviously, we'll kind of go with more deep dives, more hot takes. I just gotta feel this season out. I think this
hmm
year or this beginning of the, I know it's obviously they're the same way. They're gonna, they're getting the rust off again, and a lot of people, you know, a lot of them didn't really start picking up disc again until like a couple weeks ago, and they take off season off, as well, and some obviously grind, but others tend to take off, So it's
mm.
definitely interesting seeing what will happen throughout and who will stay relevant, who will not. And yeah, we're back, guys. And we're excited for that. But definitely, yeah. Other than that, Kyle, I think that wraps up our 41st episode and definitely our second official episode for the season. So, like I said, guys, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for the support. Definitely, if you haven't done so already, go to gravitydiscgolf.com to check out their amazing collections that they have. If you have any questions, please let us know. You comment down here on YouTube or on Kyle's thing. If you want to as well, you could definitely email us, which will be in the description as well for any reasonings. If you do want to keep up with any of the points and styles, definitely you could, put your picks in the comments down as well. And you could definitely follow us as well with that. Definitely let us know what team you would have picked for one of your plays as well. And if you have any other questions as well, or any topics you want to hear us talk about, definitely comment or just message us on either social media platforms. We'll have that in the description as well. But my name is Ty, and I have Collar with me, and we are signing off. Definitely make sure to throw those discs this weekend and play some sort of disc golf.
And hey, shout out really quick to Brett and Nora. Congratulations on the new kid.
Oh,
Congratulations.
congratulations, guys.
Yes,
Didn't know that.
congratulations. Everything looks healthy, everything looks good. But yeah, we'll
We'll
see you
send you a mini disc.
next time.
See you guys.